Today we're going to be talking about the Battle of the Kings Mountain. The Revolutionary War Battle of Kings Mountain happened in South Carolina that provided a stinging defeat in the British attempt to secure control of the southern colonies.
British General Cornwallis dispatched Major Patrick Ferguson to the North Carolina in early September 1780.
Ferguson had two tasks: recruit members to fight for the Loyalist military and protect the Cornwallis' left flank as he attempted to move through the Carolinas.
Nicknamed Bulldog by his men, Ferguson soon came up against the Over-Mountain Men, residents of the Carolina backcountry and the Appalachian Mountain Range, from places that would later become the states of Tennessee and Kentucky.
American cavalry commander with the nickname Light Horse, Henry Lee called them a race of hardy men who were familiar with the use of the horse and the rifle. Stout activity, patient under prevailing, and brave. End quote. To the British, however, they were said to be more savages than the Indians, or nowadays, to us, the Native Americans.
On October 7, 1780, Ferguson and the Over-Mountain Men met in a small but significant battle in the War for Independence. It took place on a rocky hilltop in western South Carolina called Kings Mountain.
There were several local patriot militaries of the region led by William Campbell, John Sevier, Josh McDowell, William Hill, Edward Lucy, Benjamin Cleveland, Josh Whiston, William Chronicle, and Isaac Shelby decided to take on Ferguson and his men.
Ferguson opts to retreat from his forward position and pulls back closer to the main body of the British Army. He digs in and fortifies a small 60-foot hill 2 miles inside the North Carolina border.
An American scouting party learns of Ferguson's position, giving military commanders the intelligence or ideas that they need to launch for their attack.
Let each one of you be your very own officer and do the very best you can. That American plan was simple: to assault the hill from all sides. Campbell tells his men to shout like hell and fight like devils.
In the early afternoon, the Over-Mountain Men creep quietly toward Ferguson's position when the first shot rings. The Americans attack from all sides. Ferguson deployed his Loyalist military in the center of the hilltop.
After firing a volley and fixing bayonets, Ferguson's men blunt the Over-Mountain Men's advance. But it's only on one side of the hill, and the Over-Mountain Men continue to attack from other sides, using the undergrowth of the woods to their advantage.
One Loyalist later recalled that the Over-Mountain Men looked like devils from the inferior regions, tall, raw-boned, scrawny, with long matted hair.
Ferguson and his men are surrounded, and their additional counterattacks fail to stop the Americans. The Over-Mountain Men continue their yelling and whooping as they gain ground.
Ferguson tries to lead his men past the onslaught. Mounted on his horse, he provides the perfect target for his crack-shot opponents. He is hit multiple times, his body hanging from his horse as his mount flew down the hill.
Shortly after Ferguson's death, the Loyalists surrendered.
One young mountain man later recalled, quote, "The dead lay in heaps on all sides, while the groans of the wounded were heard in every direction. I could not help turning away from the scene before me with horror, and though exulting in the victory, could not refrain from shedding tears." End quote.
General George Washington later proclaimed to his own army that the crude, spirited, hardy, determined volunteers who crossed the mountains served as proof of the spirit and resources of the country.
So, the American deaths or wounded, the total estimate was 28 killed and 62 wounded, and for the British casualties were estimated to be 290 killed, 163 wounded, and 668 that have been captured, which is crazy to think about.
American forces was commanded by William Campbell and consisted of about 910 soldiers. The British forces were commanded by Patrick Ferguson and consisted of about 1,100 soldiers.
Thomas Jefferson called it the turn of the tide of success, end quote. Like has been said before, I believe, this was a very important American victory during the Revolutionary War.
First major Patriot victory to occur after the British invasion of Charleston in May 1780.
Kings Mountain is a unique battle for several reasons. It was one of the few major battles of the war fought entirely between Americans. No British troops served here. In the South, many people were divided. When the war started, some fought for independence, others fought for loyalty to England. And that is all for the Battle of Kings Mountain. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little history talk about the battlefield.